Time to talk about vaccines. Anyone else's nipples get hard? Yeah, I'm a nerd.
Small groups are both skeptical and vocal about vaccines, which is nothing new. But these days, their voice has been amplified by the human megaphone that is the President of the United States.
I am totally in favor of vaccines, but I want smaller doses over a longer period of time. Because you take a baby in, and I've seen it, and I had my children taken care of over a long period of time, over a 2 or 3 year period of time. Same exact amount. But you take this little beautiful baby and you pump, I mean, it looks just like it's meant for a horse, not for a child.
That is Donald Trump on the campaign trail raising doubts about vaccinations, and that is a sentiment that he's also expressed online with a tweet reading, "Tiny children are not horses." And that is an assertion that PolitiFact rates, yeah, I mean, I guess technically we've got to give him that, but good grief. And look, you know this. You know this. It is not wise to take healthcare advice from a man who has willingly sought care from this doctor, who looks like he sneaks into a Senor Frogs in the middle of the night to fox the mozzarella sticks. You know that.
Now, if you guys are like me, you're wondering how in the world could it be possible to get a vaccine ready, developed, tested, and out to the public by the end of the year? Previously, the fastest one they had developed was the Ebola vaccine, which took 4 years. Now they're talking about having one ready by the end of the year. I mean, if you think about it, in England, Oxford College is looking at having theirs ready by September. The reason why is they're not actually making a traditional vaccine. A traditional vaccine uses a weakened version of the virus. And as you can imagine, it takes quite a while for the scientists to be sure the virus is weak enough to be used in that vaccine. But in this case, they're not actually using any part of the virus. They've actually engineered a spike protein of the coronavirus, which is the part of the virus that latches onto a cell at the beginning of an infection. When the body detects that spike protein, it thinks it's under attack by the actual coronavirus and starts to produce antibodies as a defense against that infection. Obviously, this is ideal because the body will already have the antibodies needed to defend itself should the actual coronavirus make an appearance. So without having to deal with the actual virus, we're able to develop a vaccine at lightning speed. This is actually super exciting because if we can figure out how to replicate other parts of the virus, that means no virus is safe. Anything from AIDS to measles to chickenpox, herpes, any virus you can think of. If we can replicate that virus, its days could be numbered. And it's been quite the confusing period if you're part of the Lgbtq community. Say that 3 times fast. On the one hand, the Supreme Court just made a landmark decree in their favor. Now, unequivocally, you can't lose your job based on your gender identity or your sexual orientation. But then came Trump. On the day of the 4th anniversary of the Pulse nightclub massacre, the Trump administration decided to strip away some rights. Now, it is perfectly legal for a doctor who disagrees with your lifestyle to refuse to give you medical service. That's right. If a doctor is offended by your gender identity or your sexual orientation, they are no longer required to save your life. Happy Pride. And he didn't stop there. You know those Obama regulations saying that schools need to have more fruits and vegetables for their students at lunch? Not under Trump's watch. Out of here. Give them French fries. And of course, we can't forget about the coronavirus, no matter how hard Trump would like us to. Tragic loss of life, the utter failure of this administration, the contradicting messages, don't wear a mask, absolutely wear a mask, Americans not knowing which end is up, the CDC vanishing right when we need them the most, leaving President Trump to offer up his colorful remedies.
Hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do, either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
This is American life right now. You'd be hard-pressed to find one positive to the coronavirus. But there is a silver lining. The environment. Without so many planes flying in the air, without so many cars driving on the freeway, the air pollution has gotten a lot better. These would be awesome developments to anybody except President Trump. While we've all been distracted by the pandemic, he's been silently and behind the scenes rolling back environmental protections. Those Obama-era auto emission standards? Gone. And it doesn't just stop with air quality. President Trump has granted corporations the ability to come up with their own environmental regulations. Free reign to basically use their best judgment. What's the worst that could happen? So it's really starting to feel like, after everything is said and done, if the coronavirus doesn't get you, Trump will. And I have to say my humblest apologies to all of you for being gone for so long. But I have a good excuse. You see all of this here? I did this. And if you know me, you understand what a feat indeed that is. And because of this struggle, all the guys and gals who show up at a set before anyone else and make this look easy, lighting guys, gaffers, grips, I tip my hat to you. And I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you who've been with me along this ride as I'm developing it, figuring it out, and finding my voice. Thank you so much for all of your support. Your comments have been golden to me. So if you have any thoughts about the direction, be sure to leave them in the commentary. And if you like what I'm doing so far, please like it. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now. And be sure to check out one of our older episodes to see just how far we've come with this puppy. All right, guys, you are awesome. Never forget that. And remember, we're in this together.